This is the Algebra 2 video continued, and what we're being asked to do is factor 5 and 6. What I notice is that the lead coefficient is not 1, so it does add a little bit of difficulty. And I wrote up here, I noticed each term is a factor of 2. And the result is kind of nice for us because what we can do is we can factor out at 2. So you get 2 times the quantity of k squared minus 9k plus 20. And now all of a sudden the coefficient that I'm looking at is that invisible 1, which makes factoring it a lot easier. So we bring down the 2, and now I have to fill these parentheses, but I know that the first factor must be a k and a k. And then I can go back through and I can think about the sum and the product, make my t-chart, ask myself what multiplies to positive 20 but adds to negative 9. We've gotten better and better at analyzing the factors, and so now I know that negative 4 times negative 5 would be negative 4 plus negative 5 equals negative 9. And now I can write the minus 4 and the minus 5 directly into my parentheses. But there are alternatives. Maybe you don't understand the relationship between each term and the factor of 2. So an alternative is still going through, but looking at factors of 80. So I'm going to multiply the a times the c, which is 2 for a, and c is positive 40, which gives me 80. So what are the factors of 80? That add up to negative 18. This list is a lot longer than the previous one, so you might start off negative 2 times negative 40, negative 4 times negative 20, negative 5 times negative 16, negative 8 times negative 10. The reason why my signs match, I didn't mention this above, but is because I have a positive 40, so signs same. And when I got going through my list, I realized, oh, negative 8 plus negative 10 equals negative 18. So I come back, I know that 2 is prime, so it only has factors 2 and 1. I know both signs are the same, so they're both negative. And then there's some variation in what we're doing, but I know I need a negative 8 and a negative 10. And so I could actually start off with negative 10 and negative 8. And the negative 8 comes from negative 4 times 2. And the negative 10 comes from negative 10 times x. And then the final step would be to factor out. Notice how we have a 2 in both the 2 and the 10, so I'd get 2 factored out, x minus 5 and x minus 4, which matches what I have here other than the variables are accidentally x's instead of k's. The last one would still be following that same process, but it's 2x minus 8 times x minus 5. Here's where I'm going to get my 10x. Here's where I'm going to get my negative 8x. Again, if I factor the 2 out, I'll get 2 on the outside, x minus 4, x minus 5, and so my answer matches the previous one, except for I have x's instead of k's accidentally. You may want to pause the video right now and begin to think about number 6 on your own, and then check your work with what I've done. So I'm going to look for factors of negative 72. Because this is negative, I know that signs Must be different. So I'm looking for factors of negative 72 that add up to negative 21. So negative 2 times negative 36, but that doesn't get me the negative 21. Negative 3 times 24, that also doesn't get me the 21. But it does get me positive 21. So really all I have to do is say that's negative 24 times 3, and negative 24 plus 3 would give me the negative 21. So I break this up. This does only have prime factors. I put the negative 12 in there because negative 12 times 2 gives me my negative 24. And I put the positive 3 because 3 times x gives me 3x. That sums to negative 21 like I want. The product of 3 and negative 12 is negative 36. So at the moment you may want to pause the video, write down some of the vocabulary that we've had so far today. Factors, multiples, product, sum, prime numbers. Don't forget to summarize what you've learned so far, and have a nice night. Thank you.